Let me be clear. This was not random violence. This was a premeditated attack. And it is one which comes on the heels of several before it. But this is an escalation too many, and this is an escalation that we will not take lightly. This is an escalation that we will not let be passed off as some random incident that happened somewhere. His Excellency Peter Obi was in Benin, as we all know, to attend the ceremonial joining of the APC by Barrister Pata. A similar event had held in Lagos not too long ago, led by the former governorship aspirant, Mr. Roosevelt. And the same thing happened. We saw an attack by thugs on a private party event. We saw destruction of properties. We saw threat to lives. We saw injuries. The same thing happening in Benin, therefore, crystallizes a pattern. And we will not be shy about pointing out that that pattern in Benin specifically comes on the heels of a very potent threat by the governor of Edo State, Mr. Okpebholo, who in July last year made some very public comments and implied a threat to Mr. Peter Obi that his security is not guaranteed if he comes to Edo State. Now we have crossed, as of yesterday, the threshold from rhetoric to actual physical violence. This is a direct attack on democracy. This is a direct attack on the right of Nigerians to freely associate themselves, to freely decide what partisan alliances they want to form, and to go about their regular business. Mr. Peter Obi is not harmed. Nobody was physically harmed at the event, but that does not diminish what this incident signifies to Nigeria and to Nigerians. And I will want to place the vicarious liability squarely at the feet of Mr. President. Mr. President needs to call his party members to order. They are going around the country threatening people, bullying people. Bodies are beginning to count. We're beginning to have a body count. We were still talking, as of when this was happening yesterday, I was on another forum talking about the death of a Mr. Musa Abdullahi, who died in Abuja on Saturday. He was a polling unit agent for the ADC, and some thugs came to the polling unit to snatch the ballot box. He resisted and he was killed. So bodies are beginning to rack up, Mr. President. The Constitution of the Federal Republic, Section 14, subsection 2, squarely puts the responsibility for the security and safety and the welfare of Nigerians at your feet, sir. I am speaking directly to the president now, and I am saying, please, this incident, number one, needs to be investigated. We will not let it be swept under the rug. Number two, you need to form an independent panel. The Benin Police Command cannot deal with this. The new IG of police needs to make this his first act in office. We demand an investigation of this. And no less, we also demand, Mr. President, a condemnation from your office by you in person, not from a proxy, because you are the leader of the party in power. The party in power and his acolytes have been spreading violence and thuggery around the country. It's incumbent on you, sir, to call them to order. I do not believe that you sanction this. I do not believe that you will for this to happen, but we cannot afford a descent into thuggery and a descent into political violence. This is not the Nigeria that we want. And for those who are fomenting these problems, who are fomenting trouble and escalating to this point, let me be clear. The obedient movement is not intimidated. His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is not intimidated. That fear that you think is going to cow us, we're going to take it and we're going to feed our passion with it. This country will be taken back from the brink of madness.
Your passion and anger is rightly placed, and I'm really sorry that all that's happened, looking at the bodies that you've mentioned, no life should be lost because of politics. But when you look at the reaction from the Edo State government, denying that he basically said Peter Obi's allegation of attack on ADC members he's calling it a claim that is malicious. And he also said that politically exposed persons are expected to inform authorities ahead of major public engagements to ensure proper security coordination. In this case, you might be able to make a case that the hands were tied when you pair it with the threat that was issued last year, like you rightly stated. What do you make of all this, the reaction and all that he's saying was expected, without necessarily saying much about maybe an investigation? What's your take?
You see, we will not allow the cloud of political correctness to be a shield for brigandry by people in power. When you begin to create an atmosphere that is not conducive for civil disagreement, we can disagree without being disagreeable, right? Our differences with the party in power, our opposition is not to people as human beings. Our opposition is based on ideas and principles. I do not agree with your position on this issue. I do not think that how you are handling this matter is how it should be handled. There is a better way, and I have a better recommendation. That is the kind of politics that we want to see in Nigeria. That is the kind of politics that Mr. Peter Obi subscribes to. So when you create this atmosphere of unnecessary aggression, unnecessary crises, you make it difficult for people to even go through normal channels to engage, and then you do not get to turn around and gaslight us by saying, oh, but you should inform and you should do that. We are dealing, let me tell you, the people who were at that event, at the risk of stating the obvious, you had 3 former governors, right? 2 former governors of Edo State and Mr. Peter Obi himself. You had Mr. Olumide Akpata, a former gubernatorial aspirant. Do these people look like people who do not take their own personal security lightly? So you do not come and tell us flowery words about, oh, yeah, you should have. It is in the normal course of your duty for the state to be secure in the first place. Like I said, the constitution places that onus on people in government. That is the cardinal purpose of government. Otherwise, let's revert to the state of nature. Let it be every man for himself.
But I'd like to take you up on that for a moment. Earlier, you mentioned that you're calling on the president to condemn this and call the party members to order and the likes. In between, in case this takes some time, what's in place to ensure that you don't have any other bodies to count, that no security is breached? How are you making sure that your security is up to par?
This is how I will respond to this. Obviously, we will not discuss our security arrangements in public, but we will take due care. We will do due diligence. What we will not do is stop traveling around the country engaging with Nigerians. What we will not do is to stop preaching the message of a better Nigeria that is possible. What we will not do is cower and hide from public discourse and public engagement. Anybody who thinks that that's going to happen, well, watch this space.
Indeed, we will be watching, and unfortunately we've come to the end of this segment. We've just about run out of time. Justin AJ is a stakeholder of the Obedient Movement. We'd like to thank you for your thoughts on these issues.